Throughout the season, our main team focus is to grow every day, even when it gets tough. Our slogan for the year is "Mental toughness is when you can find fuel in an empty tank." We are your junior high volleyball coaches for this season, Coach Grosseffen and Coach Baker. We will have a team shirt available for purchase again this year through Black and Gold Booster. The design and order information will be given out at a later date. Besides practices and school announcements, Remind 101 will be our primary form of communication. Please make sure you are signed up for the Remind group. If you are still signed up from last year, you do not need to sign up again.
Our priorities are that you are a student first, in that student athlete phrase. So academics in school comes first. Make sure that you stay on top of those grades, no failing grades. Safety is extremely important. Make sure you report any injuries to your coaches and stay hydrated. Make sure you bring a water bottle so we can gauge how much water you are intaking at practices and games. Practices are going to start soon. We need to make sure that all of our physicals are completed. Should have done those at the end of the school year, but if you're not sure, just check with Coach and I and we'll follow up on that. Our first practice will be right after school on August the 21st. We will practice at 3:45 at Bateman, so make sure that you dress appropriately in there. It's going to be warm. We in practice most days at 5:15, so parents can pick their athlete up at that time. And then anytime that the school is not in session, we won't have practice. So obviously on Labor Day, there will be no practice.
Every team has a philosophy that they follow, so it is important that you understand ours. Teams will be divided into 7th and 8th grade A and B teams. We will make sure that everyone who is eligible will get a chance to play, but that does not guarantee equal playing time. Please remember that attitude and effort in school, practice, and games goes a long way to earning playing time. Our practices will be every day that we have school from 3:45 to 5:15 at Bateman Gym. Please be sure to have rides ready to pick athletes up at 5:15. If we have practice at the high school, it will be announced during school, and we will also send out a message over Remind. Please remember that all practices are closed to spectators to ensure the safety of all student athletes. And a few other reminders for our athletes is that they will be asked to keep their cell phones in the locker room and to bring a water bottle to make sure that they are staying hydrated.
Our dress code includes no jewelry per CASHA policy. We've got to make sure that we wear good supportive volleyball shoes and those that are only worn on the volleyball court, as the Bateman Gym was just refinished and we want to keep it nice. Kids are responsible for their knee pads, make sure their hair is up. If they have an inhaler, we want to make sure that they have those at every practice and games, as well as any brace that they might need to perform.
Please remember that practice is extremely important to be at. Any unexcused absences from practice or tardies will result in makeups. Also, remember, if you are not at practice the day before a game, you are no longer eligible to play in that game. Our goal for this year is to always be competitive and make sure we're not giving up even when it gets hard. It's okay to have a bad day, but it's never okay to be a bad teammate. A few other expectations are to make sure that you pick up after yourself following practices and games, and always be an encouraging and supportive teammate. It is also super important that you make sure you communicate all problems and concerns to coaches immediately, including absences and injuries. We are going to make sure that we practice being respectful to everybody at all times, especially during games. Make sure we remember the jacket way. After games, we will sit together as a team and cheer each other on until everyone is done. Once everyone's done, then we'll go to the football game and cheer them on. Phones need to be put away during games, and they will stay put away until all of our volleyball games are finished. Let's remember that how we act during games, whether it's home or away, is a reflection on our school. So we are going to practice good sportsmanship and give 110% at all times. We will ride the bus to games together as a team, and once all of our games are finished, we will go watch the football game. If you decide to ride home with your parents, they must sign you out after all of our games are finished. Please do not try to sign out your athlete while we are still playing. Keep in mind, you will not be able to sign out anyone other than your athlete.
How our parents can help us is being positive, making sure that we follow the communication policy, have your daughter talk to us about any concerns that she might have, encourage your daughter to do her best at every practice and game, and always be supportive of the coaches and of the other players. We will do several activities throughout the season, including the quote ball, motivational t-shirt, picture buttons, and we'll also support other athletic teams like our high school program. We'll get a chance to watch the teams play, and of course our end of the season parent night.
Remember, practice starts on August 21st, the first day of school. Please be sure to have your physical completed in order to participate. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to Coach Baker or myself. We are looking forward to having a great volleyball season.